There's a version of you that wants to be profitable, and then there's a version of you that won't let it happen. You've met both. The one that plans the trade, sets the stop, respects their risk, and knows exactly what to do. And the other, the one that takes over the moment the position goes against you. That pulls the stop loss back, that doubles risk, hands the account back in 20 minutes. The second one is not a weakness, and it's definitely not a discipline issue. It's a part of you with its own agenda. And the truth that most traders will never admit is that there is a part of you that feels relieved when you lose. There's a part of you that feels relieved when you do these self-sabotaging actions. Until you truly accept that and understand why, that part of you will continue to remain in control. Here's the real difference with top 1% traders. They're not more disciplined. They don't necessarily have a better trading strategy. They've just done the one thing that almost no traders ever do. They've found that part of themselves and they've learned to silence it. And that's exactly what I'm going to show you how to do in this video. This is an example of a trader that I worked with not so long ago. For 10 years, they tried every single course. They've tried many different coaches. They've tried jumping from strategy to strategy, and they've tried many different approaches with their mindset. And for 10 years, they were stuck in a cycle of self-sabotage. 2 weeks after we started working together, he secured $16,000 in payouts. Once you know exactly what the root cause of the problem is and you know how to address it, everything changes in your trading. Now, these are the two selves that every individual has part of them. You've got the part of you that self-sabotages, that participates in the so-called destructive trading patterns. This part of you is referred to as the animal. Some people have called it the chimp or the monkey. This is the survival part of your brain. And the region of the brain responsible for this part is the subcortical areas, the amygdala in particular. Now, the full purpose of the amygdala is to seek after pleasure and to avoid pain. It wants immediate relief from pain and immediate seeking after pleasure. That's what the survival part of the brain is dedicated to. Now, this part of the brain is bigger, faster, and stronger. It's more heavily wired. The myelinization connecting to the subcortical areas of the brain fire quicker, they're stronger because they're essential for survival responses. If there's a car that's about to hit you, there's no time for logic, there's no time for thinking things through. We need that survival response to kick fire adrenaline and cortisol in the body, and we need to be put in that fight or flight state to avoid the imminent threat. But the thing is, when we're trading at our desk in an air-conditioned apartment, we need ways to manage that survival response because the market's not going to be able to differentiate between a trading loss and a true life-threatening situation. So we need to be able to manage this part of the psychology and learn to put the professional part of the psychology in charge when making trading decisions. This is the human, the part of you that's responsible for thrival. And the region of the brain is the prefrontal cortex, the more executive part of the brain. But this is the part of the brain that's responsible for strategic thinking and the part of your brain that sets a plan and executes that plan and knows the trading plan and makes wise, objective decisions according to that plan. Now, when the animal brain wants to seek after pleasure and attempt to avoid pain, and it wants immediate pleasures and immediate reliefs from pains, the prefrontal cortex, the executive part of the brain, integrates these two. In other words, it's pursuing a process irrespective of outcome, irrespective of pleasure or pain. It's transcended that idea that you're going to get one without the other. Now, my perspective on self-sabotage and these so-called destructive trading patterns is that in the moment of actually doing those actions, your brain is doing exactly what it's designed to do to alleviate pain and to seek after immediate pleasure. So when we look at those actions, for example, taking trades outside of your plan, risking more than what your trading plan says, moving your stop loss and pulling your stop loss back or removing your stop loss altogether, closing winners early before they hit take profit, all these so-called destructive trading patterns that we label self-sabotage, really what they are is the animal brain deploying coping mechanisms, and these are what the animal brain perceives as the most effective strategies to alleviate pain and seek after immediate reward. Think about it for a second. If you're currently in a trade and you take a loss and you feel like you've been put in this unwanted state of anxiety, this feeling of being on the back foot, this feeling of not moving closer to your goals, this feeling of being in drawdown, then if the animal brain wants to alleviate that pain and seek after immediate pleasure, guess what it does? It jumps straight back into the market even if there's no trades according to your plan, it just jumps straight back into the market because that's what it perceives as the most efficient and effective way to get out of that pain and seek immediate reward, to just jump straight back into the market. That's what the brain perceives as recreating hope of alleviating the certain pain it's in. And the brain wants to risk more in that moment because it's what will help it get quicker to the goals it wants to get, to pass the funded challenge, to get a payout, and to get out of drawdown. And the animal brain perceives, if I risk more, then I only have to run a little bit of profit to get back over break even, or to get closer to passing funded challenges, or to get closer to getting payouts. And the reason why when the trade is moving against you and the position is running in drawdown, the animal brain perceives that pulling the stop loss back is what's going to help alleviate the pain of actualizing the loss. And the animal brain perceives it's going to continue to create hope of the trade playing out in your favor. And then when a trade is running towards your take profit, out of fear of losing that unrealized profit, the animal brain jumps in and it closes the wins down early because that's what it perceives is going to bring it immediate pleasure and avoid any pains that it doesn't want to experience. So each of these actions, when looked through that lens, are completely rational in the sense that all of these are coping mechanisms for unwanted states. So to help traders understand why they do certain actions on a deeper level, what I encourage them to do is to firstly identify what is the specific action that you're labeling destructive and you're labeling self-sabotage. Let's say, for example, it's taking a trade outside of your plan. I encourage a trader to go back to an actual moment, a factual moment, when they perceive themselves doing that exact action. And then in that moment of doing the action of taking a trade that wasn't written in their trading plan, what was the benefit in that moment that that trader got from doing that action? And consider the context around that circumstance and consider the unwanted state. What was the benefit the trader got in the moment of actually doing that action? And I encourage the trader to keep writing benefits, 5 to 10 to 20 benefits, until they can see the motive they had in that moment for doing the so-called destructive behavior, and seeing the mechanism and the strategy they perceived of being able to alleviate the pain and seek after immediate pleasure in that moment. And then I asked them in that exact moment, if you did exactly the opposite, what you wished you had done, which in that moment would be sitting on your hands and not trading at all, what pains would you experience in that moment? What fears would arise in your mind? And they can see that, all right, if I didn't jump straight back in the market, well then I would have to sit in this unwanted state of pain and drawdown without any hope of recovering that. And when the trader starts to see the pains and the drawbacks and the fears, if they did what they wish they had done in that moment, they start to understand their actions. They start to understand what motive they have to doing these so-called destructive self-sabotaging actions. And then once you have an understanding of the motive for doing your actions, then what you can do is you can ask yourself, what are alternative ways and alternative strategies I can use to get these same motives without doing the so-called destructive patterns? And then giving the animal mind alternative ways to manage the pain state that don't involve jumping straight back into the market or over-risking or moving stops. When you give the animal brain options in that moment, now it doesn't just default to jumping straight back in the market, it has alternative strategies it can deploy to manage the unwanted state it's in. And then I encourage traders to go even deeper and understand, all right, what's triggering you in the first place? Well, there's certain language of the trade is moving against me, or I'm in drawdown, which means there's an expectation that the trade should have gone in a certain direction. So I help traders crack the very expectations and ideas they have pre-trade that lead to unmet expectations and lead to pain after the trade going against me, so that they can preventatively address those unmet expectations. And they don't have such strong anchors of pleasure on each individual trade, thinking that this trade has to be a win, it's going to get them all these things, which actually drives the pain. But I help them go in with more realistic expectations so they can dissolve the actual triggers. And when a trader is aware of their triggers, when they're aware of the unwanted states they get put in once triggered, and they're aware of why they're utilizing these coping mechanisms to deal with the unwanted states, then traders can put alternative strategies in place. They can manage the triggers better, they can manage these unwanted states better, and they have more control over these actions, and they silence the self-sabotaging action, the so-called self-sabotaging action, which is really just a coping mechanism in that moment. And when you have that understanding and you have alternative strategies to deploy, you don't just have to jump straight back into the market or over risk. You have alternative strategies you can deploy. So this is how top 1% of traders silence self-sabotage. If you got even just one new insight from this video, please go ahead and like the video and consider subscribing to the channel. If you resonate with my teaching style and what I share on trading psychology, I encourage you to go into the description or the first comment or scan the QR code that's on your screen right now. This will take you to a page to download my free Bulletproof Your Trading Mindset 3.0 training, which also comes with my AI-powered trading psychology tool, Teller X, all completely free. And this training and tool just helps ensure that you implement these ideas in real time while you're actually trading under pressure, as opposed to knowing the stuff but don't actually implement it in real time. So if you resonate with what I share, go ahead and download it so you can actually turn these lessons into measurably better results in your trading. Traders, thank you for watching to the end of this video. Before you click away, I want you to watch this video that's gonna pop up on your screen. It's a 22-minute video that summarizes 6 years worth of trading psychology techniques and mental models into one video for you.